All right, welcome back, and this is Mark with Realizes Self, and in today's video we're going to talk about something quite interesting, uh, and this is like focused presence. And so if you look at ancient people and techniques like Tibetan Buddhism, they have these sand mandalas where they're intently focused on each grain of sand, making a mandala. If you look at Zen Calligraphy, they're deeply focused, and this forces focus and presence and awareness. And this is directly connected to science and brainwaves and uh, self-realization as well. And so this helps retrain the brain, or help train the brain to become present and aware. And the same with that Zen cup meditation that I talked about before. So it's the same concept. So I was learning about that, and I was like, oh, wait a minute, this is the exact same thing that I was talking about, the Zen cup meditation. For me, I come from a running background, and running races and trail races and mountain biking, and all this stuff just forces your concentration, and it forces presence and forces awareness, and it actually rewires your brain too, and you get like gamma waves and you get alpha and theta waves, and that's the flow state. So the ancient peoples, like the sand mandalas from Tibetan Buddhism, they would have tiny grains of colored sand meticulously arranged into intricate geometric patterns. The purpose was symbolizes impermanence and the universe. The act of creation demands total concentration, almost trance-like focus. The effect, it encourages mindfulness, patience, and insight in the impermanence. And another one was Zen Calligraphy. Brush, ink, and paper are used to express a character or phrase in a fluid movement. The brushwork is both a physical and mental discipline. Every stroke reflects the inner state of the practitioner. The effect synchronizes mind, body, and breath, fosters clarity, presence, and meditative awareness. And then there's mandala painting and yantra creation in Hinduism and Tantra, geometric symmetrical designs created to represent the cosmos and deity energies, meditation aids, staring at a coloring. A yantra focuses the mind inward. That's another video we could do on yantra and how it helps focus the mind inward. This mandala painting and yantra creation enhances concentration, facilitates deep meditation, aligns mental energies. And then you have engaged breath and movement practices such as Qigong and Tai Chi. In China, slow, fluid movements synchronized with the breath cultivate Qi, heightened awareness. There's yoga asanas and mudras in India. Physical postures combined with breath and visualization create meditative focus and self-realization. Aspects such as the presence, awareness, and then they have walking meditation in Buddhism, conscious stepping and breath, awareness integrate motion with mindfulness. Then you have etching and engraving in ancient cultures, such as carving patterns in wood, stone, or metal, often repetitive and precise. The purpose was ritualized creativity, focused manual labor, creates a form and becomes a form of meditation. The effect engages full attention, grounding the mind in the present moment. So this is self-realization. What happens, the effects is chop wood, carry water before self-realization, after self-realization, chop wood, carry water, but you're fully engaged and immersed in the movement, in the activity, in the present moment. So that's the difference. There's also knot making, Tibetan prayer chords, Celtic knots, Japanese kumihimo. Each loop or knot requires attention and intention. There's weaving and basketry. The rhythm of threads or fibers can be hypnotic, creating meditative flow. This combines tactile engagement with mental discipline, often invoking spiritual symbolism. There's also chanting and mantra writing. Repetition of sacred sounds, either vocally or written. Aligns thought, sound, and rhythm, anchors consciousness, deepens concentration, quiets mental chatter, and fosters inner clarity. All these techniques rely on repetition, precision, symbolism, and rhythm. They require full attention to the present moment, often integrating mind and spirit, making them naturally meditative and transformative. I mean, there's something in your life right now. Well, there's everything. You could do anything immersed in the present moment, but there's something you could use that'll fix you into and immerse you into the present moment, and that'll just anchor you into the present moment. So I did the cup walking with water. You could also do a form of exercise like mountain biking or trail running, or whatever it is that you're into, surfing. And so we're going to go a little bit more into the neuroscience and how it relates to flow states, right? Really quite interesting. So modern flow triggers are basically ancient focus mechanics wrapped in speed, risk, and tech. Same brains with different toys. Basically, here's how modern activities induce this flow state or this presence or this awareness. And this is how they work neurologically as well. And so action sports like skiing, snowboarding, why it works is continuous feedback loop, terrain, body adjustment, high consequence, no room for rumination, no room for error. I mean, you could ski right off a mountain and, you know, you have to focus. It forces you to focus. There's rhythm plus speed and train attention instantly. The brain state beta drops fast. There's no time for self-talk. Alpha brainwave stabilize into calm control. Theta emerges with the rhythm. Gamma bursts during turns and drops. The type of flow with that is embodied instinctive time delayed, often described as a mountain disappears, and it's just movement. Mountain biking, especially downhill and technical. Why it works: micro decisions every second, hands, eyes, balance, and tight sync. Risk forces presence without panic, as long as the skill matches. Brain state, strong transient hypofrontality. That's where the ego turns off. The hypofrontality, the default mode network turns down. Alpha theta coupling, gamma during obstacle clearing. The type of flow is hyper present, reactive, precision based. There's also like rock climbing, bouldering. It works well because there's problem solving, physical control, clear goal, immediate feedback, body weight awareness anchors attention. Brain states theta, planning plus movement integration. Alpha, calm focus, reduced DMN, default mode network, which is the ego, chatter. The ego can't be active because it would disrupt the presence, or there'd be too much risk and you could get hurt or seriously injured. The type of flow with that is strategic, embodied, often deeply meditative after the first few moves. Then we have wave and glide sports, very rhythmic flow. Surfing works really well. You sync to an external rhythm, such as the ocean. You're on the water. Requires surrender, control, long waiting periods, heightened contrast. It's basically meditation in the ocean. Brain states alpha dominance while paddling, theta during wave riding, gamma bursts at critical maneuvers. Type of flow is oceanic, timeless, and ego softening. Then we have trail running, longboarding. It works because repetitive cadence and trains brain waves. Nature reduces cognitive load. Breath and stride sync. The brain state is sustained alpha state, very low beta, mild trance effect over time. The type of flow with that is endurance flow, spacious, reflective, often insight producing. Urban and creative movement, such as parkour. Then you have skateboarding, works really well. And you have, these work better than meditation for some people. Modern flow activities succeed because they force presence, because of the risk, the speed, and the consequences. They match skill to challenge. They remove abstraction. There's no symbols, it's just physics. Reward attention immediately. Meditation asks, can you stay present without stimulation? Skiing or one of these flow state inducive exercises asks, can you stay present or get hurt or eat snow or get injured or fall off a cliff? Your nervous system answers very quickly and it forces you. And so there's a hidden pathway. So all reliable flow activities share clear goals, immediate feedback, embodied engagement, rhythm, and just manageable risk. That's why scrolling, multitasking, or passive media cannot produce real flow. They spike dopamine without stabilizing attention. And so that's another interesting topic for another time, is the dopamine spikes from social media, multitasking, and how it actually untrains the brain and for presence and attention and awareness. And so you're doing the opposite of what we're trying to do, which is realize who we are. And this is actually taking you away from that. The more you become addicted to the phone and scrolling and passive media and spiking dopamine. So we could turn modern flow into something deeper. If you want to push these from performance flow to self-realization, you enter with intention, not an outcome. You keep sensory awareness broad and not tunnel vision. You let the activity in you not affirm you. Notice the silence after the run or ride. That's the doorway. That's where modern flow quietly reconnects with ancient insight. And on a personal level. I once ran a 52-mile ultra marathon race, and I was in a state of flow for just under 9 hours, just completely immersed and focused on the activity at hand. And even at one point, it hurt so bad around 50 miles in, with only a few miles left to go, and everything just completely went away, and I felt something undescribable, that the mind just went away, the ego just dissolved. And I didn't know what that was for the longest time, until I started learning about all these ancient teachings, and it finally makes sense. And even after that, I was so aware and focused and present that, I was even asking people what this was, but nobody knew at that time. And this was years ago. And so that's it. That's your video on flow and focused attention. And find something that you can do to induce that. And it could be anything you love, really, anything. You could knit, you could go surfing, you could go jogging, you could find something to induce flow state. And there's something there that you do, that you love to do, that will help you. All right, thank you for being here. We'll see you on the next video.